I know what you're thinking right now. There's not enough Colin Cowherd in my life. I hear it every day from my family. Listen, if you want more, subscribe. Fake questions, real answers. I got things I want to talk about. I don't want to wait for you to ask me the question. Dear Colin, seems like everybody in the world wants you to comment on Tom Brady wearing his hat backwards Sunday against the Bears. You want to give the people what they want? Yeah, fine. As a society, we've gotten more casual. You can go to a Vegas show. They used to wear suits to Vegas shows. You'll see guys in surfboard shorts. You go to a baseball game. People used to wear suits. You'll see people in tank tops. People at steakhouses come in with their hat on backwards. It used to be 25 years ago, you wouldn't go to a steakhouse with a hat, period. Forward or backwards. Society's just gotten more casual. I'm not an overly rigid person. Generationally, I think it looks tacky, especially in more professional settings. But I kind of go where society tells me to go. There's the speed limit, get a vaccine. Here's a law, here's a regulation. I don't fight society. I consider myself a surfer, and life is one big wave, and I just try to ride the momentum of life and stay happy. I'm okay with it. It's not what I would do. I'm okay with it. Dear Colin, everybody wants to know if there's any new inside information on the USC head coaching job. What do you have? Actually, I have great new information. The number one candidate is James Franklin. The number one concern is the cost of his staff. USC initially concerned that James Franklin, who has a big presence and is a great recruiter, he tends to be a little bit, and Nick Saban is too, a control freak. Urban Meyer is too. Most of the great coaches are. USC, I've been told, has gotten over that concern. The concern now, what is the budget for the staff? James Franklin is a big presence and a great recruiter. He won at Vandy. He wins at Penn State. He needs a great offensive coordinator. The better the coordinator, the better his teams. And that'll probably cost, considering the LA housing market, $1.75 million a year. It would cost in the SEC maybe 1.25. LA is a different animal. James Franklin, I'm told, is the number one target. LSU, the number one target, I'm told, is Mel Tucker. Both Mel Tucker at a press conference this week and James Franklin at a press conference this week both came off, in my opinion, a little evasive as they stumbled through questions about those jobs. Mike Tomlin of the Steelers did not stumble because he's not been offered it. He wouldn't accept it and had no interest. In 25 seconds, Mike Tomlin put the rumor out. James Franklin and Mel Tucker, when asked about the USC and LSU jobs, both stumbled. Evasive, clunky. Why? Because their agents have been contacted and those job offers are in the works. Dear Colin, did you see TNT moved inside the NBA off Thursday so they don't compete against Thursday Night Football? Being the media insider you are, what's your take? Well, it's a smart move. The NBA actually has self-awareness. You know, an intelligent skier avoids the avalanche, not tries to ski it down the hill. There is nothing even competitive between the NFL and the other sports leagues. It's trying to compete with hockey in Canada. It's trying to compete with the English Premier League in London. The NFL is not only the most popular sports league in America, it's the most powerful, the best run, the most bet, the most consumed. Everything they touch works. And the NBA, which has lost 36% of its TV ratings in 2 years, finally came to a realization. We have got to stop the bleeding with our TV ratings. How? Get off TV up against the NFL on Thursday night until the season is over. I've argued for years that the NBA season should start on Christmas. That should be the first TV games on Christmas. That's when the season starts. Push it back so 75% of the season, 80% of the season, not only doesn't compete with the NFL and college football, it doesn't compete with NFL training camp, and it ends August 1st. You're not lacking courage when you don't want to be buried by an avalanche. You lack intelligence when you're willing to challenge it. Dear Colin, is it unfair that the rules have changed to hurt James Harden in the NBA? Well, no, rules were used to slow down Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The NCAA in 1967 made dunking illegal. It became known as the Lou Alcindor rule. There were rules to slow down Wilt Chamberlain. The NBA widened the lane from 12 to 16 feet. The NBA instituted offensive goaltending. The NBA changed how you could inbound the ball and also how to shoot free throws, since he would leap from the line to put the ball in the basket. This is what the league does when they feel there's a star that can manipulate a rule. Wilt Chamberlain at the free throw line leaping and doing a finger roll into the basket. The PGA, tiger-proof courses. Major League Baseball has lowered the mound or raised it 24 times. Leagues and athletes have to adapt. Harden was manipulating the rules. He'll be fine once he gets in better shape, but he was taking advantage of a rule, and the NBA smartly put an end to it. Dear Colin, is KD's move to the Nets becoming one of the worst moves in sports history? Yes, I think it's one of the worst moves a star has ever made. Let me give an example. When I was at ESPN, people thought I was crazy to go to FS1. And what I had told many of my friends is, what has Fox and the Murdoch family failed at? Fox TV stations around the country succeeding wildly. Fox News, $1 billion a year revenue monster. Fox Business, the Wall Street Journal. The movie business. Then they created a second movie business called Searchlight. That was a big hit. Fox had succeeded at virtually everything they had done. Doesn't matter if I have to agree politically with their ideology on every issue. So Fox was an easy move for me. Meanwhile, think about KD played with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's life is nothing but successes. He was a great high school player, a great college player, a great husband, a great charitable spokesperson, a great shooter, a great NBA player, a great teammate, a great dad. What had he failed at? KD left that to go with Kyrie Irving, who first of all failed geography. We know that because he thinks the world is flat. He couldn't stay healthy at Duke. He was initially in the NBA at Cleveland, largely considered a bust because he couldn't stay healthy. He worked briefly with LeBron, but then blew that up. He went to Boston and blew that franchise's momentum up. And KD chose Kyrie over Steph. Steph's report card was all A's. Kyrie's report card was incompletes and failures. I think it's a tragic move and may stop KD from ever capturing another title.